Hey guys, Freedom Fighter 1776 here. Doing another review for you guys. I know it's been a while since I've done one. I've been doing a lot of testing on a couple different things. Um, just so I can, get numbers right and get stuff figured out for you so I could do some more reviews. Um, Today we're going to do one on my new AR-15 pistol it's almost done. It's not completely done, but, almost there. Um, without further ado, we'll get into it. We'll start from the back and go forward. We got the SIG SB15 brace on there. That's definitely one of my favorites. It's definitely a blast to shoot, makes it super comfortable. I wouldn't go any other way with it. Underneath the SB15 brace, we have the KAK Industries buffer tube. It came as a whole kit. It was the brace, the buffer tube, buffer spring, buffer, end plate. Or sorry, no, I put this ASAP mag pulse end plate on there with the castle nut. But everything else came as one kit, so that was nice. I think it was like, $160 shipped or something. So it was a good deal versus, 150 for just the brace in a store. So that was pretty good. Then moving on down, I like Magpul. I've always been a fan, so I got the Magpul grip on here. PMags like always. Then I got up top here. Up top here we got Diamond Head flip up sights. I really like them. I'm a fan of them. I think nowadays they come from BCM too. They're still Diamond Head flip up sights, but they're BCM branded, I believe. I like them a lot. They're real easy to pick up. Then underneath here we got the Rainier Arms ambidextrous charging handle. I gotta have that. I'm left-handed, so as far as being left-handed, pretty much everything's got to be ambidextrous for me. Otherwise, I won't be able to get to it. Then moving on down here, I got the Magpul enhanced trigger guard. Just a little bit better, a little bit bigger. I like how it looks too. One thing I want to talk about on the inside here is this trigger that I got in there. It's a POF trigger group, one-piece drop-in trigger group. It's Patriot Ordnance Factory is what the POF is. A couple things I gotta say about the trigger. It's a nice trigger. Okay, don't get me wrong. It comes with the KNS anti-rotation pins. It's a 4.5-pound trigger pull. It's a great trigger. It's light. It's crisp. Got a good reset. No over travel. Pretty much no take up. The only thing I'll say about the trigger is I had one before that in this exact gun, and it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't reset, so I had to work it in. I had to pull the trigger and manually pull the hammer forward to get it to reset over 1,000 times, and then it started working. So, it just had to get worked in, or so I thought. And then after I worked it in, and then after I got it worked in, it actually broke, past the point of fixing it. So I called POF, told them what happened. They said, it's no problem. They were great. Customer service was fine. They, said, send that one in. We'll send you out a brand new one. It's no problem whatsoever. So they were great. I got the new one in. And this one's perfectly fine. It works right out of the box. So as I said before, there was nothing wrong with them. Their customer service was great. And I know it's, when you get an aftermarket trigger, it's obviously a lot tighter in tolerances than, say, a standard mil-spec trigger. So, yeah, it had an issue. It's a $200 trigger, so that's something that you would expect to work right out of the box. But every big company has little stuff that happens. It's no big deal. They switched it out for me with no problem, so that was great. Next thing I want to talk about is the lower here. That's an 80% lower that I finished. It's from Radical Sorry guys, not radical. It's 80% arms is where I got that from. And then I ordered the jig, got the router, the end mill, um, and I finished it up. As you can see, there's a little scratch there. It's obviously not as good as something that you would buy complete, but, I did a couple 80%ers. I wanted to have one that, I could say I finished myself, and it turned out good. Everything works. I got about 400 rounds through this right now, flawless. So I'm definitely happy with it. And if the scratches bother you, you can always get it repainted or parkerized or Cerakoted or whatever your flavor is. So there's definitely no issue there. But if you guys, are thinking about doing an 80% lower and you're on the fence about it, I say take the plunge. It was cheaper than buying a complete one. It took maybe 3 hours, so definitely not a huge long process. And once you get the hang of it and once you know what you're doing, you could probably even get it done in less time than that. It's definitely a simple process. Moving on up here, the upper is a complete Palmetto State Armory 10.5-inch upper, with their bolt carrier group, bolt, and everything. So it's a complete upper from PSA. I like the upper. It's like I said, I have 400 and some rounds through it. Ran flawlessly. The bulk carrier group is their premium bulk carrier group. Now, one thing I'll say about the bolt, it has the 3 gas rings on the bolt. I was shooting the other day, and I got home, took it apart to clean it, and I had noticed that one of the gas rings had a piece chipped off of it, so it wasn't. I was getting some gas blowback, and while I was shooting, I was noticing there was a lot of heat coming back out of the ejection port. I had just attributed it to, the gun getting hot. I had shot 100 and some rounds pretty quick. So I had just attributed it to that, but when I got it home, took it apart, and noticed that gas ring, that was definitely why I was getting that heat transfer out the back. So anyway, like I said, no big deal. I got new gas rings for like $3 from X Ring here in Delaware. So it was definitely no problem. I mean, I am going to call Palmetto State Armory, let them know about it. It definitely wasn't an expensive fix, obviously, and those kind of little parts are good to have on hand just in case anyway. But just the fact that I only have 400 rounds through it and it's already broken off one of the gas rings, that kind of, made me feel a certain way. But little parts like that, it is what it is. So after I talk to them and, I'll let you guys know what they say, what their, recommendation is as far as what I should do. Like I said, I already replaced them, so it's not a big deal, but I do want to call them and let them know what's going on. Then for an optic, as of right now, I just have a Bushnell TRS-25 on there. It's just a little 3 MOA red dot with a UTG mount. Nothing, crazy expensive or real awesome like an aim point or something. That is the one I want to go with for this, is an aim point like T1 Micro. However, I've been doing some testing on this Bushnell TRS-25. And for the money, it's a good red dot. I mean, you can say whatever you want. Obviously, a $600 aim point is going to be better than $100 Bushnell. Obviously, that's just the way it is. However, for a $100 red dot, the Bushnell is good. And I've had this one on multiple rifles and this pistol, and it's always, worked. It's never had an issue. I've dropped it, put it underwater, put it in the freezer. It's been fine, no problem. The wife had gotten it for me for, I believe it was Christmas or my birthday, one or the other. With the mount, I did some testing on the battery life. That's going to be the one complaint of it, is the battery life. On the highest setting, it only lasted for a week of total time, just, on nonstop for a week, and then it died. Setting 7, which is about the medium setting, that lasted for about 9 or 10 days. Then the lowest setting, excuse me, that lasted for over a month. So if you have it on, setting 3 or so where you can still see it inside for a home defense gun or something, it'll still last you for about a month, and that's just constant on too. You can obviously turn it off and then turn it on when you need it and get a lot more time out of it, but that's just constant on. Um, like I said, compared to an aim point at 5 continuous years of battery life, it definitely doesn't hold its own. But if you guys don't want to spend the money for a $600 aim point, the Bushnell is a good way to go. It's definitely not a bad red dot. I can shoot, 1.5 inch groups with this at 100 with just a 3 MOA dot. So, it is what it is. I don't want this video to get too long, so we're going to move on here. I just have a regular quad rail on there right now. Nothing fancy. I haven't decided which rail I want to run yet. Like I said, it's not done yet. It's almost there. I was looking at, like the Daniel Defense Mark 18 quad rails. I think it's the RS2 or RS3, I think it is. I like those in the burnt bronze. That looks pretty good. But again, $300 rail. I just haven't decided what I want to do. But anyway, I got the flat dark earth rail covers and then an AFG2 on there from Magpul. I really like that one. And obviously, because you can't run a vertical grip on a pistol, you can run this angled grip or just a hand stop if you like those better. And moving on, I just have a regular A2 front sight right now. Until I change the rail. We'll get a 10-inch rail at least, just so that I can, get closer to the end of the muzzle. I like that look better. So then we'll end up putting a flip up, diamond head front sight on there to match the rear. Then moving down here, this is a Midwest Industries muzzle brake for the 5.56. Like I said, I did testing on it. I went shooting the other day. Compared to just a regular A2 flash hider, it does reduce recoil. Alright, I'm going to say that for it. However, the concussion of it is just so loud that for a home defense gun or, maybe a truck gun or something, I don't know whether it would be worth the decrease in recoil for just the increase in overall blast of it. Now, anybody that shoots ARs know that it doesn't recoil a whole lot to begin with, and with a regular A2 flash hider, it doesn't do, very bad anyway. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I'm still testing it out, seeing if I like it, but I might end up just putting the A2 back on there just because, the concussion alone would make it so that you wouldn't be able to hear anything in the event that you had to use it in a self-defense situation. But like I said, I'm still going to do some testing and I'll let you guys know what the final verdict is on it. However, it does reduce the recoil, so that is a plus, and I will say that for it. That, I believe, was $40 or $50 for that muzzle brake at Cabela's, I believe, so that wasn't, outrageously expensive either. So that's a look at my new AR pistol. Like I said, it's almost done. It's not completely there yet. I still do want to put an aim point on there. Put the rail I want on there with a flip up front sight. And then figure out what I want to do as far as the muzzle brake goes. But other than that, she's about done. It's a great gun. I like it. Like I said, it's a 10.5-inch barrel. I think it's outstanding. And like I said, I can still shoot 1.5-inch groups with, good ammo. So I got no problems with that. So yeah, that's a look at my AR pistol. I got a couple more things coming down the pipeline. Just be patient with me. I got to do some more testing